Welcome to 3 Questions in 3 Minutes, where we sit down with education leaders across the state to discuss the blueprint for Maryland's future. Today, we are joined by Monisha Chorale, attorney at the Public Justice Center. Monisha, please tell us about yourself and the work the PJC is doing on behalf of educational equity in Maryland.
Sure. So, as you said, I'm Monisha Chorale. I'm an attorney here at the PJC. We work statewide to dismantle the school-to-prison pipeline in Maryland schools. And that includes representing students to avoid disciplinary removals and get the behavior support services they need to stay in school. It includes educating communities about why practices like suspension, expulsion, school-based arrest really don't work, and about the rights of students who are being pushed out of school in those ways. And we advocate for policy reforms to shift us away from reliance on school push out and towards more meaningful, transformative, and effective strategies. We know that Black and Latinx students and students with disabilities are disproportionately likely to get pushed out of school and into the penal system. So when we dismantle the school to prison pipeline using those strategies, we advance equity in education for those student groups, among others.
Fantastic. Can you please tell us a little bit about what was at stake in the blueprint and how the communities the PJC serves would have benefited?
Absolutely. So the blueprint really has the potential to be transformative for PJC's clients in many different ways. I'll highlight just one today. The blueprint requires that all teacher training programs include instruction on restorative practices or restorative approaches. Now, a restorative approach is a strategy through which educators and school leaders take intentional steps to develop positive relationships among students and staff so that they truly know and care about and are invested in one another. They might have daily morning meetings or circles, for instance, where students and staff will talk about what they're feeling and experiencing. And when a conflict arises, rather than sending a student away as a punishment, we actually call that student in to face the harm that he or she might have caused and develop proactive ways for addressing and repairing that harm. We know from research that when we implement restorative approaches in a comprehensive way, we see improvement in student behavior and relationships within the school building. And we actually rely less on ineffective practices for behavior management, like suspension or expulsion. In Baltimore City, as just one example, pilot schools that implemented a restorative approach saw a 44% decline in suspensions just this past couple years. But to successfully implement this strategy, we can't just rely on a one-off training or session in school. We need educators who are coming into the profession knowing what restorative practices are and how to employ them in the classroom. The blueprint positions Maryland to accomplish that shift.
Wow, that really sounds amazing and is a fantastic reminder of what is really on the line at this moment. Given that, what is your message to lawmakers in the General Assembly regarding the blueprint for Maryland's future?
We need to override the veto so that we can keep all our kids in school and learning and make schools more welcoming and inclusive and safe for all kids.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us today, Monisha, and thank you and the entire team at PJC for the great work that you're doing on behalf of educational equity in the state of Maryland. We will be back soon with another 3 questions in 3 minutes. Until then.